Hello and welcome back to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where last time we played through the Mushroom Cup on 200cc, and today we'll be playing through the Flower Cup on 200cc, and we're going to be using, let's go ahead and use, let's use King Boo, why not? And we're going to use the Gold Standard card, which is what we got for earning at least a star ranking in all the Mirror Cups, which we for some reason didn't get until we started 200cc, which is weird. And we'll use those, along with the, we'll use them with the Cyber Slick. I feel like we haven't used the Cyber Slick tires in quite a while. And we'll go ahead and use the, we'll use the Flower Glider. Here are the stats. And once again, we're going to make sure that Smart's doing auto acceleration are indeed disabled. And so without further ado, let's dive into the Flower Cup on 200cc. Let's do this. Alright, look, I promise this will be the last episode when I talk about Ice Age. I didn't intend to spend 3 whole videos spending on this topic, but it turns out that when 200cc enters the picture, I have significantly less time to get my ideas across, so let's just get straight to it. Previously, we concluded that the collision courses, Ice Age 5 collision... Really? Okay. Ice Age 5 collision courses, characters are busted. They don't act how they acted previously. In fact, they have to be made either really silly, stupid, or downright malicious in order for the conflict to happen. That's not even mentioning, by the way, the weird scene in the middle of it where, because the whole idea, the strategy that they try to employ to make Peaches stay is that you can't handle yourself on your own. So Ellie presents like this crazy, insane scenario that would never in a million years happen, that also Peaches should have no reason to be able to handle, and then she handles it immediately with absolutely no care. And Ellie is shocked, and so is the audience. It's like, how did you, okay. But putting that aside, the plot is garbage, so... There's an element of the Ice Age universe that I haven't really addressed in these videos prior to this point, and that's Scrat. So Scrat is comic relief. Basically, his plan, his goal, or his story throughout all the Ice Age movies is, I want an acorn, so now I must find acorn. And that's basically his plot throughout all of the Ice Age movies, except it gets increasingly more ridiculous and insane each time. And that can work to some extent, so like, I would say that throughout the first 4 movies, it gets reasonably more insane, but then you enter movie 5, and the plot of it is literally the inciting incident of movie 5 is that Scrat finds a spaceship. I'm not kidding. He finds a spaceship, and this spaceship allows him to go to outer space, obviously. And while he's in outer space, everything is just hitting me today. I swear to God. So he plays like He treats the planets like ping pong balls, and he just bounces them all around, and just plays a game of pinball with all the planets in our solar system, which then causes an asteroid to be sent on a collision course with Earth. So aside from I'll just save it to the next race. So aside from the fact that, like, I'll be honest, when I first saw this scene, when I saw it in the movie theater, when it came out in July of 2015, the opening scene ripped me right out of the movie, because it was just so, like, unbelievably absurd within the first 5 minutes. Aside from the luck of Scrat happening to find a functioning spaceship in the Ice Age, that, not even, okay, so in case you're thinking, like, wait, you mean, like, a human spaceship? No, I mean like an alien spaceship that apparently crash landed there and got frozen in the ice. That just happened, apparently. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it did. So, aside from that, the pinball game, the idea that you'd be able to do that with planets in outer space, and a series has always been relatively grounded given its time period, it just flies off the rails in the opening 5 minutes. And not even mentioning the fact that you wouldn't be able to play a game of pinball with the freaking, some of the planets in our solar system because they're gas giants, and that they're not like, oh my god. So, then there's the fact that you send the asteroid on a collision course with Earth, and now the plot is that back down on Earth, there is an asteroid coming down to Earth, and they gotta stop it. Yeah, that's the plot. Manny, Sid, Diego, have to stop an asteroid from hitting the planet. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, that seems like an insanely impossible thing to do. How do they do this, you may ask? Well, as it turns out, this asteroid... They dragged Neil deGrasse Tyson into this, and I don't know how the hell they got him to do that, because Neil deGrasse Tyson is such an awesome dude. I don't know how the hell they dragged him into the pits of hell with Ice Age 5, but I guess he was just desperate for work or something. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. And I think they might have brought him in here as an attempt to be like, oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson is giving a voice work for this movie. Therefore, our movie must make scientific sense. No, it doesn't. That's not, you can't, they're like using him as a shield to hide back against the fact that their plot makes no sense, but it's just, okay, I'll talk about it in the next race. So, they find this prophecy that apparently the asteroid was prophesized to crash down to Earth, and then they see that they need to go to some volcano thing to figure out how to stop the asteroid. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's literally a prophecy told them they have to go to the top of some volcano, and then that's how they're just gonna find they're gonna find a solution to the asteroid there. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't. It doesn't make any sense. It's literally just prophesized garbage. I don't even. But that's not even the end of it. Then they enter this weird like dream world kind of thing where they go to the Fountain of Youth and they meet this weird llama that's like they're obsessed with the Fountain of Youth. And so what they figure out is that the asteroid is spitting out fragments of itself that are crash landing to Earth in like smaller chunks, and they realize that these smaller chunks are magnetic and that they magnetize toward each other. So, if they take the big space rock, which is the source of youth for the Fountain of Youth, or whatever, and then they put it into the volcano, like they have to roll, the climax of this movie is they have to roll a giant space rock up a volcano, so that when the volcano goes off, it will launch the space rock into space, and therefore, because the rocks are magnetic, it will pull the asteroid away from Earth. I can't. If I didn't tell you that this was an Ice Age movie, like, if I didn't tell you the names of the characters or anything, I don't think you could have told me. Like, I don't think, if I gave you that plot and I said, now, this is a sequel in a beloved animated franchise. What franchise am I talking about? You could never have guessed Ice Age. You couldn't have. You just couldn't have. There's no way in the world you could have possibly guessed that I was talking about an Ice Age movie. Because nothing I just described to you sounds like it fits. Like, it's the same kind of problem I have with Dawn of the Dinosaurs, except on a much grander scale, and that it doesn't seem like it fits in the world that it exists in. Yeah, like, you're not dealing with the ice caps melting. You're not dealing with the guys who did things that would occur in an ice age. You're not dealing with continental drift. You're dealing with dinosaurs in movie 3 and a giant asteroid that's gonna crash onto space, crash and kill everyone on the planet in collision course. And there's still more. So aside from the fact that the character work is busted and they don't feel like they're acting like themselves and there really is no substantive character work that is engaging or makes any sense at all, aside from the fact that the core conflict is based on a prophecy, aside from the fact that the science behind the plot and the asteroids doesn't make any sense, aside from the fact that the inciting incident is ludicrous, the villains of this movie are honestly the worst villains in the entire series. Because at least in movie 2, they weren't trying to make the villains seem like some super compelling threat. They were literally just trying to make them like, haha, I'm evil because I'm a mindless animal and I just want to eat you. So at least they weren't trying to make them a compelling villain. But here, the story is that there's these birds, and they... I'm not kidding here. So, the birds, we have Papa Bird, and then we have the bird, Papa's son and Papa's daughter, and the Papa is like, hey, so those animals want to stop the end of the world, but we want to stop them from stopping the end of the world, because when the asteroid comes to kill everything, we can rule the world, because we'll be able to fly over, while they are suffering from the asteroid on the ground, we can fly over the Earth and survive. No! That's not how that works, you idiot! That doesn't... just the thought of someone coming up with this idea in a boardroom and having that be the motivation of the villains doesn't... Anyway, the arc is that the son is telling him, like, hey, Dad, don't be an idiot, and then he's like, I want to be an idiot, though, and then he's like, okay, cool, and then at the end of the movie, he's like, okay, I won't be an idiot anymore, and then we'll help him save the day. It's the stupidest, most transparent garbage ever. It doesn't make any sense. The characters are dumb, the plot is nonsensical, the exciting incident is garbage, the villains are the worst of the series, and they're... Yeah, so thoughts on the... To summarize my thoughts on the franchise as a whole, movie 1, awesome. Movie 2, not as good, but still great. Movie 3... below average, like, at best of 5, at worst of 4 out of 10. Continental Drift, best in the series, and Collision Course is an absolute dumpster fire when I refuse to believe it exists. So, I mean, at least it doesn't have the Toy Story 4 effect where it actively undoes previous movies and just makes them all worthless. It's just a stupid movie. I don't know why they made it, but it's dumb. Anyway, hey, we may have started out really rough in this cup, but we still emerged victorious, so... that's pretty neat. It's always that one race that screws us over. Anyway, you've collected 2,100 coins, and so a new vehicle customization option has been unlocked. We'll see what that is next time. Anyway, that'll be it for now, so thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. I hope to catch you all tomorrow. First of all, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where we're finally going to be talking about something that's not Ice Age related. Goodbye!